I'm one of those people that don't feel like Trump was treated particularly well in his first couple of years, and it's kind of disheartening seeing the Democratic response to it. I'm one of these people that feel like civil discourse is not where it might be at this point in time, and I didn't vote for Trump, did not want him to be president, but now that he's president, I'm happy to back, whatever it is that he feels is the right thing to do. And I think that he's well positioned to win in 2020. Not that I think that's the best way to go, but it looks as if that may be where things are heading.
Charlie from Pennsylvania, Democrats line. Hi.
Hey, I got a question for you. Not to bitch about the thing, but Barr said that he wasn't going to reveal anything that's going to deal with oncoming investigation. So now you're telling me that the Robert Stone's trials are going to be canceled because he made the statement that no American, nobody on Trump's comms had anything to do with collusion with Russia. So why are we going to go to a trial? Because he already said that there was no collusion. So who is right? The person that indicted Roger Stone or Barr? Who has the right information?
I would invite you to go to our website at cspan.org and listen to the Attorney General's remarks in total, if you want to make that out for yourself. Jacoby in North Carolina, Republican line.
Hey there. Thank you so much for taking my call, by the way.
You're on. Go ahead.
So this is probably the most interesting election for not just Republicans, but the country in general, right? Considering that we have like an indicted president. And so what I'm actually interested in is, how is this going to affect the 2020 presidential election, considering this president has had a extremely expanding economy, and this report has come out and it shows no collusion. And so the question is, will independents flip, or will they stay in their own kind of corner and kind of wait it out?
What do you think?
Well, personally, I believe that, rather I would hope that they would come over here and give us a chance, because it appears that a lot of the Democrats running appear to be taking some policies that are extremely socialist, and I'm definitely not for that. I don't think the rest of America is either.
As we wait for the president to make his appearance, here is Bill Scanlon.
Donna Brazile, who was the chair of the Democratic National Committee during the 2016 election, now a Fox News contributor, just tweeting this: although the Trump campaign did not knowingly coordinate with Russia to create discord, they willingly used the hack stolen materials to sow confusion and disdain towards the DNC party officials, staffers, and donors. A look at the camera shot you may have seen a moment or two ago. We're waiting for the arrival of the report on Capitol Hill. We have that live shot up at cspan.org, and there's a look there as well. And just one comment here from the chairman of the Freedom Caucus, on the House Freedom Caucus, Mark Meadows, Republican of North Carolina. What you're seeing is unprecedented desperation from the left. They went all in on collusion conspiracy that never existed, didn't get the result they wanted, and now they're throwing manufactured controversies at the wall to see if anything sticks. It won't work.
The president expected to make comments very shortly before the Wounded Warriors Project. You see that on your screen right now. We'll take you to that when that happens. Democrats line, Toms River, New Jersey. James, hello.
Good morning, Joe. I just want to remind people that Donald Trump's father taught him how to wheel and deal with the New York politicians. In other words, to make a corrupt human being out of him. And he did a good job, because he transformed it from the New York State politics to Washington politics. But this time he's going to get caught. He's nothing but a corrupt human being. How sad, a man with the wealth that he has, with a good life he could have had. Instead, he's just a corrupt human being. Thank you very much.
From Minnesota, Lee, good morning, Independent line. Lee in Minnesota, hello. We'll go to Rick. Rick is in Council Bluffs, Iowa, Republican line. Hi.
Good morning.
Morning. Go ahead.
Yeah. I'm just happy this is getting over with. I mean, I kind of think that Obama said it 2 years ago, that there's no way the Russians could interfere in our election systems. They're making a liar out of the man. And that God bless President Trump.
Do you really think this is going to be concluded with the release of this report?
Oh, no, they'll keep whining. They'll look under every rock they can find, but they better start looking in their own backyards. That's where the collusions is.
Iowa. In Dallas, Iowa, Democrats line. This is Diane.
Hi. Michael Flynn, who was he calling at the inauguration? And he's not done. He hasn't even been sentenced yet, has he? Happy Easter.
From Illinois. Bob is next. Bob in hometown Illinois. Go ahead.
Good morning, Pedro. I want to congratulate the president on the Mueller report, and I would hope the Democrats could put all this behind them and work together with the president and work on the southern border and on infrastructure. And I hope they can put it behind them and go on and make America great. Thank you.
Do you
so
think
much.
those things will happen? Do you think Washington will go back to at least trying to get things done between Democrats and Republicans on Capitol Hill?
I don't have too much faith in the Democrats. I used to be a Democrat, but I'm voting for Trump in 2020.
Pennsylvania is next. Democrats line. This is Zach. Zach, hello.
Good morning, and thank you for providing us this forum to be able to ask questions and everything. Attorney General Barr today mentioned in his press conference that there was no links between, Russian collusion and the Trump campaign. But that, I'm just raising the question, what about the Donald Trump Jr. meeting between, at the Trump Tower? Why wasn't he indicted? Why did he lie about it? That's just my major question I would like to raise today. And, and about the obstruction, you've seen President Trump fired, James Comey and, also had Michael Flynn assisted in that. It just all raises some very suspicious questions. And yet the Attorney General is still saying no collusion, no obstruction. But again, we just have to wait for this report, let the report speak for itself.
When the report comes out under the category of obstruction, 10 episodes that the Attorney General saying that were looked at when it comes to President Trump, those expected to be highlighted when that report reaches Capitol Hill. Again, once it does, it'll be distributed to the relevant committees, and their reporters wait for that report to make its appearance. Also expected to make an appearance, Donald Trump himself at the East Room of the White House to address a forum. To the extent he'll address the report itself, who knows? But you can watch those events once it happens. You can see all these things at our website at cspan.org. If you can't watch that event, by the way, and you have to pull away from the TV, you can see it later on cspan.org, or you can also listen to it on our C-SPAN radio app if you have that. So all those available to you you can consume that and take a look to that content. We'll hear from Isaac in Tampa, Florida, Independent Line.
Hello. I just want to say first, we're hearing Republicans and Democrats, going back at each other. I think that, that just continues to make the divide, more in this country. I think we should look at this issue. We should look at this press conference of the Barr report. I think that in an independent way, I think that it did seem like he was favoring the president. There was the Russian government did have involvement in our political atmosphere using social media, and I think that the Trump campaign used that for their advantage. I don't think that they tried to work with the Russian government, but they certainly did take advantage of what the Russian government did, and I think that is something that American people should definitely take aware of. Republican and Democrat, we're Americans.
Okay, Isaac in Tampa, Florida. Here's Bill Scanlon.
In his news conference, the Attorney General was asked if he'd be okay with the special counsel testifying before Congress. He indicated he would be. He also said that he himself will testify both before the House and Senate Judiciary Committees. We expect that early May and look for live coverage on the C-SPAN networks. Certainly, a member of the House Judiciary Committee, Jamie Raskin of Maryland, tweeting this: Congress will be eager to analyze the 10 separate episodes of obstruction that Attorney General Barr was so eager to contradict, but the argument that Trump lacked the intent to obstruct because he was, quote, frustrated and angry is ridiculous. Jody Hice, congressman from Georgia, let the liberal spin begin. No matter what Democrats read in the Mueller report, they will refuse to accept the truth. No collusion, no obstruction. When is enough enough? How many more investigations and how much more tax dollars will it take? Ed Markey, senator from Massachusetts. Even before we had the chance to see the Mueller report, Attorney General Barr made it clear that the Russians interfered in the 2016 election, a fact that President Trump continues to deny. Where's the White House commitment and plan to stop that in 2020? Kelly Armstrong, freshman congressman from North Dakota. Barr states that he has no problem with Mueller testifying, says that report is only lightly redacted, and Congress will get an unredacted version of the report. Most media concludes that he is covering for Trump. Seriously? And Tom Udall, senator from New Mexico. The American people have heard enough spin from the Attorney General and the administration. It's time for the Attorney General to release the full Mueller report and for Robert Mueller to testify publicly. Congress and the public need full transparency. Again, the Attorney General set to testify before the 2 judiciary committees in early May. We'll have those live. No word yet on whether the special counsel has been asked or invited to testify before any committee.
According to the president's schedule, a couple of things happening today. He'll receive intelligence briefing later on in the afternoon. He'll go to Mar-a-Lago for the Easter weekend. It was at 10:30 that this event at the East Room scheduled to take place was supposed to start. We're waiting for it to start. And when the president comes for that, we will take you to it when it starts. But until then, we're taking your calls on the release of the report today, the Attorney General's treatment of the report, all those up for consideration until your calls on the release of the report today, the Attorney General's treatment of the report, all those up for consideration until the president comes to the podium. 202-748-8001 for Republicans, 202-748-8000 for Democrats, and Independents, 202-748-8002. Greg in Florida, Republican line, go ahead.
Good morning, Pedro. It amazes me, I'm an expert in my own field, how we allow our experts to develop information and provide it to us. So what happened in the Challenger incident back in the 80s, we allowed scientists to determine the facts of the matter. And in this case, we allowed the legal attorneys who are experts in their field to make these facts aware of what was going on and to provide us with that information. And there are so many people out there who think they have the knowledge when they don't. The legal experts have made their conclusions. It amazes me how life follows life. We're going to celebrate the resurrection this Sunday, and I just want to thank the legal community, not the CNNs and the NBCs and the ABCs of the world, but the legal community for providing clarity that the president did what he was supposed to do. And everybody else who is involved legally did what they were supposed to do. Accept the facts and move on. Let's have a good government here in this country. Thank you, Pedro.
Donald is an Illinois Democrats line. You're next up.
Yes. All I have to say is if Obama would have did what Trump did in his first 2 years of his presidency, every Republican that's calling in saying...
Think about the reports of today and the Attorney General's treatment of it.
The Attorney General just cleared Trump. And that's what they cried when Comey came out before the election saying the email scandal. So Barr just did what Comey did, which President Trump said he fired Comey for. Barr just cleared the president without letting the Congress see the report, without letting the American people see the report. This is a travesty.
Again, the Congress and the American people will see a redacted version of that report later on today when it gets delivered to Capitol Hill. The first stop will be along with the respective committees, and then later on, after that takes place, a version to be released to the public. Look for that copy of that report at cspan.org. Donna is next in Maryland, Frederick, Maryland, Independent line.
Hi, I just wanted to say what we've learned today is this whole collusion obstruction matter is nothing but a giant nothing burger. They owe us the money back as the American people for all the expenditure and all the relentless assault among all the people who are unfairly targeted with respect to this. And I'll bring up something else. A lot of this happened with the previous administration. So I'm going to end it with this question. What did Obama know, and when did he know it? And I say this as an independent voter.
Chris in New Hampshire, Democrats line. Hi.
Hello. So, anyways, I just want to address two things. One is that this is pretty much the whitewashed version of the Mueller report, and I think Republicans really should hold their judgment until the full report comes out. And
because why?
Well, because it will express a lot more detail to exactly the entire thing. And they're hung up on the collusion thing, and I'm glad. So we don't have a president that's colluding with Russia. Good, but he did obstruct justice, and I think the report that comes out afterwards, if they actually watch it or get a hold of it and stuff.
But if the report hasn't come out yet, why do you think, or what leads you to believe that he obstructed justice?
I mean, last 2 years, everything, every little thing that he did. I mean, with Comey and so on and so on. My point is this. They really should, instead of getting the whitewashed version that was presented to them today, they should wait and.
Okay, let's hear from Republican line, North Carolina. Hill, good morning.
Yes. I have two questions.
Go ahead, you're on.
Yes, I have two questions. Number one is, where did this investigation originate from? And my second question, the second part of this question is, if they were so concerned with collusion, just to be fair, why was the Hillary campaign not investigated as well?
Okay, that's Hill in North Carolina. As you see there, pictures from the East Room, there's the Vice President, Mike Pence, walking in and shaking hands with those members of the Wounded Warrior Project, all members, and some of those standing and getting ready for the event. It looks like the event is just about to start. Again, when that starts, when the president comes in, we will take you to it to hear his comments, not only to this group or what he might say about the release of the report today. Matt in Maryland, Independent line, hi.
Hi, I just wanted to say that we have to remember what the purpose of the Russian government was in sowing misinformation on the internet. They're trying to divide us because a weak country is in their best interests. And we also have to remember that politics is not a football game where we just mindlessly support our team. It takes civility and it takes reasoned discourse, something we got to work on in America. Thank you.
Again, that moment, that event there at the East Room, that's what you're watching on your screen right now. That's set to begin at any time. And again, we'll look for you. We'll take you to that event when it starts on Capitol Hill. Again, reporters still waiting for the report to be delivered. There's some movement and activity, doesn't indicate whether the report is actually being delivered or not. But those are the things we're keeping eyes on as we go on through the course of the morning. Marianne in New Jersey, Republican line. Hi.
Yes, hi. Good morning. I was listening to a lot of comments from your people that called in, and I am a Republican. But if
Marianne,
you take the
I think I'm going to stop you there, and I apologize. We have some movement actually being here to show you from the East Room. That's going on, and this is the lead up, I believe, to the president about to make his comments. Again, this is to the Wounded Warriors Project, and that's set to start momentarily. Timothy in Illinois, go ahead.
Hi, I just think that Barr is protecting the president. I think that he's not releasing the full report, that the other people that have been indicted by the Mueller report already, there's no explanation for that. And I think that continually repeating the no collusion theme over and over again is just kind of admitting that the corruption may be our own.
From Bernard, California, independent line. Hello.
Yes, there was no collusion. So why don't the Democrats start cleaning up the corruption in California in their court systems, the abuse of authority? I'm a victim of that. And I filed complaints for the last 5 years. I've even called the FBI. And their excuse is, well, it's not against the law for me to refuse to do my job. And they refuse to even look into it.
The start of activity at that Wounded Warriors Project event at the East Room of the White House now taking place. We'll take you to that as we expect President Trump to address the group in just a few moments.
United States Marine Corps. Gunnery Sergeant Jose Morla, United States Marine Corps. Staff Sergeant Jeremy Velez, United States Army. Staff Sergeant Trevor Brunel, United States Army. Sergeant First Class Jorge Avalos, United States Army. Staff Sergeant Casey Grella, United States Marine Corps. Sergeant First Class Anthony Valentino, Jr., United States Army. Staff Sergeant Jody Kemper, United States Air Force. Sergeant Joseph Burke, United States Army. Petty Officer First Class Carol Bailey, United States Coast Guard. Petty Officer First Class Nez Nelson, United States Navy. Corporal Oscar De La Rosa, United States Marine Corps. Petty Officer Second Class Cynthia Hernandez, United States Navy. First Lieutenant John Fernandez, United States Army. Petty Officer First Class Alana Wilhelm, United States Navy. Staff Sergeant Jeremiah Pauley, United States Army. Commander Thomas Olivero, United States Navy. Lieutenant Junior Grade Jordan Lowe, United States Navy. Specialist William Mathis, United States Army. Sergeant Samantha Monadum, United States Army. Senior Airman Justin Day, United States Air Force. Staff Sergeant John Bennett, United States Army. Sergeant Rory Cooper, United States Army. Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States, accompanied by Michael Lennington and Jose Ramos.
Thank you very much. Please. I am thrilled to host the Wounded Warrior Project. It's been a long relationship I've had, and the Soldier Ride is something very, very special. Few people could do it, including me. I hate to admit it. I hate to admit that, General, but including me. We're deeply honored to be in the presence of true American heroes. I want to thank our great Vice President, Mike Pence, and Karen Pence for being with us today. Thank you, Mike and Karen. Stand up. Mike, stand up. And theirs is really a fierce devotion. I can tell you that, speaking, I deal with Mike and Karen, and they have a fierce devotion to America's veterans, and we all do, and thank you very much. We're also grateful to be joined by Acting Defense Secretary Patrick Shanahan. Patrick, thank you very much. Great job you're doing. "100% of the caliphate." So that was great. That was one of our early assignments, right, with you. So I appreciate it. Great job, Pat. General Counsel of Veteran Affairs, Jim Byrne. Jim, thank you very much, Jim. Great job. And Army Vice Chief of Staff General James McConville. James, thank you, James. Thank you very much. I also want to thank two great congressmen for being here, and if we had room, we would have had a lot more. Phil Rowe and James Baird. Thank you very much. Thank you, Kelly. And they're having a good day. I'm having a good day, too. It was called No Collusion, No Obstruction. I'm having a good day. There never was, by the way, and there never will be. And we do have to get to the bottom of these things, I will say. And this should never happen. I say this in front of my friends, wounded warriors, and I just call them warriors because we just shook hands and they look great. They look so good and so beautiful. But I say it in front of my friends, this should never happen to another president again. This hoax. This should never happen to another president again. Thank you. With us on stage today are the wounded warriors from the Air Force, the Army, the Navy, the Coast Guard, the National Guard, and the Marine Corps. Each of you is a living testament to the outstanding determination, persistence, and patriotism that made this the greatest nation ever to exist on the face of the earth. And as you know, we're spending the biggest number of dollars we've ever spent, not even close. You know that very well, General. 700 billion my first year. I won't even tell you how much higher than before we got here. And then 716, and this year we're even trying to up it. We're rebuilding our military like never before. Brand new fighter jets, brand new ships of all kinds. Every soldier has the best equipment. In the Army, we're even getting new uniforms, and those beautiful new uniforms with the belt. It was a big deal, the belt. And if you think those uniforms were inexpensive, they were very expensive. They were but they wanted it, and we got it. We have equipment now like we've never had before. We have research going on for the new and greatest equipment in the world. Nobody is even close. Nobody can do what we can do. And we're at a level that we have really never been. So a lot of progress has been made. When I came in with Mike, we were a depleted armed forces. We were depleted. We had planes that were 50, 60 years old. And we had things that going on that you wouldn't believe, that the general knew, that General, I think we all knew, and we weren't happy about it, and we took it. And I'm a big budget person, but there's one thing more important than the budget, maybe a couple of things, but there's one thing in particular, and that's our military and our defense of our nation. Because without the defense of our nation, our budget doesn't matter. And we have done a real job. And I think when I go to the bases and I'm with the soldiers and the sailors and everybody, the Marines, we spent a lot of time with Marines the other day, Coast Guard doing the most advanced icebreaker in the world. They were trying to get it for 20 years. They couldn't get it. We're doing it. It is expensive, I will say. Built in the USA, by the way. But all of the things that we're getting, and I think in particular the Air Force with the planes, we're ordering vast numbers of F-35 fighter jets. I've tried to keep the price as low as possible. I got involved personally. I don't even know if I'm supposed to do it. I'll probably get in trouble because I cut the price, you know. But we cut it very substantially. Very, very substantially. And the F-18s and every kind of plane you can think of, the bombers, the tankers. We have the greatest equipment in the world. Everybody wants it, and we only give it to those that are working with us. And they pay for it, by the way. That's always nice. You know, in the old days, they weren't paying so much. Now, at least they pay, and they're happy about it. They respect us again. They respect our country again. Today, America proudly salutes you and all of your fellow warriors. You are incredible warriors. And when I took pictures just a little while ago, some of the guys walked in. Where are they? Are they here? Where are they? They walked in. They said hello. They were so, could you stand, please? Where are they? What happened? Okay, they're there, but I had some out here too. Everybody stand, please. Please. You are fantastic, Joe. There's great admiration in this room and all over the country for all of you, and for all of you. And we really appreciate it very much. Thank you very much. Great job. We're in awe of your courage, and we are forever grateful for your noble sacrifice. I also extend my deep gratitude to the amazing military spouses and the families that are here today. A lot of families here, yes? Stand up, please. Spouses, stand up, please. Please. Thank you. Without the families, the spouses, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. It's not the same. Your love sustains our warriors and our nation, and we want to thank you so much. You are incredible people. We're also delighted to have a distinguished World War II veteran in attendance, Corporal James Blaine, who was wounded in action at the famous Battle of Iwo Jima, and that was a battle. Where's James? Hi, James, please. Thank you, James, a real hero. We're honored by your presence. Thank you. Tomorrow, the Wounded Warriors on stage with me will complete the final miles of their more than 30-mile soldier ride through Maryland and Virginia. On battlegrounds all over the world, these brave patriots risked their lives and shed their blood to defend our nation, our people, and our great American flag. Nobody defends our country like those people representing all others, but those people in the room today. Very, very special group. Here at home, they've beaten back injury and illness in some cases beyond anybody's wildest imagination.
Like those people representing all others, but those people in the room today. Very, very special.
The word comeback.
Here at home, they've beaten back injury
it's just courage.
and illness in some cases beyond any of our country's wildest imagination. Like those people representing all others, but those people in the room today. Very, very special. The word comeback. Here at home, they've beaten back injury
it's just courage.
and illness in some cases beyond any of our wildest imagination. Like those people representing all others, but those people in the room today. Very, very special. The word comeback. Here at home, they've beaten back injury it's just courage and illness in some cases beyond any of our wildest imagination. Like those people representing all others, but those people in the room today. Very, very special. The word comeback. Here at home, they've beaten back injury it's just courage and illness in some cases beyond any of our wildest imagination. Like those people representing all others, but those people in the room today. Very special. The word comeback. Here at home, they've beaten back injury it's just courage and illness in some cases beyond any of our wildest imagination.
That's why I think I'm going to have to be president for many, many years, because I never want to use a regular doctor.
most importantly, our warriors and families, thank you all for joining us today. On behalf of the entire team at Wounded Warrior Project, we're honored today to celebrate this exceptional group of wounded warriors standing behind me. It's truly an honor to be here at the White House for Soldier Ride DC, our 12th year in a row. How about that? 12th year in a row. And we're grateful for having such a great group of American patriots behind me. As the President said yesterday, the Wounded Warriors behind me rode through the streets of Annapolis, Maryland, and the campus of the U.S. Naval Academy, where they received incredible encouragement and recognition for their service and sacrifice. Tomorrow they'll ride through Northern Virginia, an uphill, hilly ride, and it's going to be raining. How about that? And the campus of the U.S. Naval Academy, continuing to challenge themselves physically while strengthening bonds of friendship and cohesion with each other and with the grateful citizens they'll meet along the way. We know that with the right support, wounded veterans regularly overcome the adversity of their injuries and either return to duty in uniform or lead full productive lives as citizen leaders in the communities in which they settle. And that's really what today is all about. Providing a venue for wounded service members to bond, continue healing, and realize that we are all here for them. Mr. President, thank you for honoring and empowering our nation's finest and for the work you have done and will continue to do on behalf of our military and our veteran communities. I now have the honor of introducing our next speaker, Hospital Foreman Jose Ramos, one of Wounded Warrior Project's legislative directors from our office right here in the nation's capital. A native of El Paso, Texas, Jose joined the Navy in 2000 to become a corpsman, a medic, where he was assigned to several Marine Corps infantry battalions as their platoon doc. Jose served one tour in Afghanistan and 2 tours in Iraq. And you can only imagine the difficult conditions Jose faced while he was deployed multiple times and in very difficult circumstances. In 2004, Jose was hit by a rocket while serving as a member of a Marine sniper team. His injuries were near fatal, causing devastating damage to his left arm. Despite his critical injuries, Jose was not only able to direct a fellow service member in applying a tourniquet to his arm, but he continued to assist other wounded personnel before he was himself medevaced. Jose thankfully recovered and retired from the military in 2005. And amazingly, within months of his injuries, he ran and completed the New York City Marathon. Jose is a former member of the U.S. Para-Triathlon team and a former appointee to the President's Commission on Care for America's Returning Wounded Warriors. He is also a steadfast advocate for his brothers and sisters in arms and is joined today by his beautiful wife Jody and children Donovan and Luke, sitting right here in the front row. Let's give Jose a big round of applause.
First and foremost, I want to say thank you to General Livingston for those kind remarks and for recognizing my beautiful wife and my children. You know, my 9-year-old asked me if I could bring them to the White House one day, and I did today. And now I just got to make sure the Capitals win the playoffs, and I think I'm good for the year. So no, it truly is an honor and a privilege to be here today to be at the White House amongst all our distinguished guests, particularly amongst the warriors behind me. Not too long ago, I was standing in their shoes. It feels like it was yesterday, obviously a few years back, but definitely brings back some memories. I also want to thank the White House staff for putting this together. It's a lot of work, and we really appreciate what you've done. Soldier Ride is just one of the many programs Wounded Warrior Project has, but it's a program that's particularly special to me. It's played a significant part in my life. And as General Livingston indicated, I joined the Navy in 2000. In 2004, I was seeing myself serving in my 3rd tour overseas as a corpsman attached to a Marine sniper team when I was severely injured by a rocket attack. Fast forward a little bit, I'm Walter Reed, waking up, recovering, going through the process as anybody who was injured at the time. And unbeknownst to me, there was a group of friends somewhere in New York coming up with this crazy idea. How about we ride a bicycle across across the country, right, to raise awareness and some money for a young organization doing great work, and that was the Wounded Warrior Project. Soon afterwards, in 2004, Chris Carney decided to do just that, and he rode over 5,000 miles across the country from coast to coast. And in the second, or following that, he decided to do it again, this time going in the opposite direction. That was really the birth of Soldier Rides, right? That year, we had 2 leg amputees join him, 2 service members still at Wall Street, Ryan and Heath. And so they trekked starting from San Diego all the way across, back towards New York. On their route, they stopped at Wall Street, where they met up with and picked up a group of newly injured service members to join them the rest of the way. And I was one of the privileged to be able to join through that route. We did about 400 miles in about 7 days. And in that ride, I learned 3 important lessons. Number 1, Pennsylvania is not flat. It is extremely hilly, and if it wasn't for the Amish pastries and the Yingling, I don't think I would have made it to the States. I did say I was a corpsman with the Marine Corps, right? So, number 2, going downhill full speed with one arm is not easy. Did not realize that. And oh, by the way, if you're gonna go on long bike rides, make sure you're wearing cycling shorts and make sure they're not inside out. Number 2, going downhill. Number 3, the most important lesson of them all is no matter how difficult the challenge is, whether you fall down or crash, whether you need to get off the bike or walk, right? Or if it seems like the miles never end, if there's someone holding you or helping you get back up, walking along your side with you, if there's someone supporting you and helping you realize that the finish line is just a little bit further, anything is possible, right? Those days grinding it out on those roads made me realize, it made us all realize that recovery takes time and it takes hard work. But at the same time, if you're willing to put in the time and with the support, you can overcome everything. You might fail, but you will eventually succeed. Now, it's not possible unless you have a great supporting team next to you. That's what the Wounded Warrior Project does. And it also provides great company with you. So anything you set to accomplish is possible, and anything that you want to do, you can and you so choose to. So, Mr. President, I wanted to again say we appreciate your generosity, your hospitality, and your willingness to have us here today to help us remind our nation and our fellow Americans that our nation's Wounded Warriors still need our compassion and our support, and that the mission of Wounded Warrior Project is to support them along the way on their ride, no matter how long it takes. So thank you again for having us here today.
Thank you. Jose Ramos is the epitome of what it means to be a wounded warrior, and as we say in our land, he's truly living the logo of a warrior that starts being carried off the battlefield, and through his recovery and rehabilitation is carrying others in their recovery. So, Jose, thank you for your dedication and your commitment. And Mr. President, a small token of appreciation for you and the White House staff. Accept this small memento on behalf of all of us, and especially the warriors standing behind me. This is really beautiful. This will find a permanent place, at least for 6 years, in the Oval Office. Is that okay?
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain at your seats until the Warriors have departed the East Room.
President Trump at the Wounded Warriors Project, the Soldier Ride event, wrapping up in the East Room of the White House. The Mueller report released to members of Congress, delivered to Capitol Hill about 15 minutes ago or so. And we want to remind you and let you know that the full report is now available on a link online right there on our homepage at cspan.org. Our coverage plans today here on C-SPAN include any live events that are available this afternoon. There's a possible news conference from Jerry Nadler, the chairman of the Judiciary Committee. We'll show you shortly the news conference from this morning with the Attorney General, William Barr, coming up shortly here on C-SPAN. President Trump is expected to leave this afternoon for the Easter weekend at Mar-a-Lago in Florida. Some reaction. The report is out. Reporters and others reading it online and available online. And this is from Andrew Desiderio, who covers politics and Congress for Politico. He tweets this, part of the reading: Mueller leaves obstruction question to Congress. The conclusion, this is in the report, that Congress may apply the obstruction laws to the president's corrupt exercise of the powers of office accords with our constitutional system of checks and balances and the principle that no person is above the law. Congresswoman Debbie Lesko, who sits on the Judiciary Committee, Republican member, saying that the Attorney General just confirmed that there was no collusion or obstruction of justice. As a member of the House Judiciary Committee, I look forward to reviewing the report when it is released later today. And a reminder, it has been released. We just said it's available now. You can look at it yourself at cspan.org. Some 450 pages of the Mueller report. It's also going to be put into book form within the next week or 10 days or so. And this morning on Washington Journal, we talked to the publisher of Melville House for how that process will proceed.
Again, you can comment on the release of the Mueller report today. That press conference at 9:30, state of this network to watch it. 202-748-8001 for Republicans, 202-748-8000 for Democrats, and Independents, 202-748-8002. It will be delivered to Congress in CD form. However, viewers can get it in another form as well. And joining us to talk about it is Dennis Johnson. He's the co-founder and co-publisher of Melville House Books. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
What's the role that your publishing company will take in the Mueller report?
Well, we feel that if you make it available as a book, it'll get to more people. Our feeling is a lot of people just won't look at the online versions offered by the government or take the bother to contact the government's printing office to get an expensive printout of it as a manuscript. We think if it's available as a book, it'll get more widely read. It'll be in home libraries, it'll be in public libraries, and people will have a chance to see what they pay for.
And your publishing company got rights to publish the book. How did that happen?
Well, it's a public document. There's no obtaining of rights. We already own it as taxpayers.
And so how did you get permission to publish it as a book?
By being an American citizen. You don't need special permission to publish public domain documents.
And so we are talking about, or at least for the last couple of weeks, been talking about this idea of a redacted report. How does that version that you'll release treat those redactions?
Well, we will publish the report exactly as it is released to the public. So it will include whatever redactions that Attorney General Barr has put into the document.
And so when will you expect that